somebody just hit me up before I came on the air here with that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul rules just came out for their fight, and that nobody knew whether or not it was a real fight or an exhibition. It's at the AT&T Stadium in Texas where the Cowboys play July 20th. And listen, when it gets closer, we're going to break it down. We'll do a real thorough breakdown on it. I've touched on it in some other episodes already that are in the archives. But what came out today, Ken, I don't know if you saw it, but it's just been sanctioned as a professional fight. And here's the rules. The result will go on official records. Knockouts are allowed. That makes sense in a professional
that's
fight.
Nice of them.
Well, I mean, that usually is the case, right? I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, what were they going to do if you punched someone too hard and knocked them out?
It's not allowed.
Hey, that wasn't allowed.
Sam, I'm a little confused. I mean, does that confuse you a little bit too?
A lot.
I mean, not just me, right? Or Ken, right? No. We have company, right?
Disqualified, knocking out
the
opponent.
Rules are 8 2-minute rounds, not 3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds, and 14-ounce gloves, not 10-ounce gloves. Normally, pro fights are 10-ounce gloves and no headgear, which is normal for a pro fight. Here's my question: how do you call it a professional fight if the rules you're using are not professional rules? I just
maybe they're in the non-binary category, given that it's 8 2-minute rounds. I'm sure the women will be happy to see someone stepping down to the shorter rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ken. All I know is I'm really not trying to be, to pick at anything. I'm just putting the news out there, and I'm breaking it down as is our way of doing things on this show. You're calling it a professional fight. We didn't know if it was going to be professional or not. They decided to sanction it as a professional fight in Texas. But it's not the professional rules of a professional fight. It's not 3-minute rounds. It's 2-minute rounds. It's not 10-ounce gloves. It's 14-ounce gloves. Yet it's being called professional rules. Look, they could do whatever they want in boxing, right? I mean, as long as money's there, the commission's going to make money. They're going to bring money into the state. Money's going to come into the coffers for everybody. Boxing is very lenient. Boxing is very pliable. Boxing adjusts. And all of a sudden, we're called a professional fight, even though the rules are not consistent with professional rules. So
I'm surprised that Jake Paul is doing this. He's on the way to building a legitimate boxing career, regardless of what anyone else thinks. He's having real fights. To now step down to do this kind of exhibition style fight against 50-something-year-old man. I just don't get the motivation from Jake's perspective.
Well, I do. Jake, part of it is what it's been from the beginning. He's been obviously very upfront about it. He's in the money-making business. I
don't think he needs the money. How much money do you need? He said makes tens of millions a year.
Is there ever enough money, really? You've been in the finance.
For me, there is.
You are in the financial business before you got into this.
There's a level where you don't need any more, and it's not very much.
No, I agree. There are things more important than just money. And just power or just anything that is in those categories, and maybe there's judged in those kind of or weighed in those kind of ways of importance in life. The important thing is to find happiness and hopefully to live a compatible life with other human beings. And to, care about other human beings, and hopefully to improve, as you improve your life, to improve others' lives.
That's right.
That to me is really would be what would be defined as being a human being, or some of the things that you would hope to aspire towards to be a good human being. But again, I'm not afraid to go there again. I'm just gonna say, when you get down to it, look, money is involved in so many aspects of of society, our life. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think Jake Paul, I don't know if he still has pure aspirations to become a world champion fighter, find a spot where he can fit in there. Maybe he does. Maybe that's changed a little bit. Or maybe it's always been a hybrid, a combination of, trying to be the best fighter he can be and see where that takes him, as well as at the same time building a promotional company, making a lot of money, promoting other fighters, maybe changing the sport a little bit in his mind too.
Yeah, I think at the core he's a good person, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of his motivation for putting on this fight is knowing it will get eyeballs and being able to put on some of the other fighters there, because like I said, he's got plenty of money and he's on his way to like having a legitimate boxing career. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the motivation to kind of lift up the fighters on the promotion. But who knows? Only he knows the truth. I would have rather seen him step up against a stiffer competition in his weight class, on the similar career path or trajectory as Jake is. Maybe, an established, young, undefeated fighter with real talent. But I digress.
I mean, the big difference with boxing and other sports can be connected to this being professional rules, right? This little conversation.
That's right.
Because I don't think you're going to see a game between, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants be called, a professional football game. But in this game, we're going to use rules where, a first down is 12 yards. No, maybe a first down is 8 yards, because they made it a little easier in this fight. So a first down instead of 10 yards, a first down will be 8 yards. You get 5 plays instead of 4, right? Normally you get 4 plays, Sam.
Yeah.
You get 5. I don't think that football would ever have that kind of situation for whatever reason, would have that kind of situation and then say, yeah, it's the same NFL professional sport as it always has been.
That's right.
I don't know. It's amazing how boxing, again, can just twist and turn itself like a pretzel into so many different things for those.
That's a good point.
Always for the same reason, though, money.
Yep.
Anyway, I digress.